obviously excited about the W. Thought our kids showed a great deal of resiliency. There was a tremendous amount of adversity that they were faced with in the game. And they continued to show the mental and physical toughness that teams need to possess to beat a top 10 ranked team opponent. And I don't, at the end of the day, I don't know how pretty it was. We had some penalties and things, and that's a good football team, obviously, in Oregon State, but was just proud of the character our guys possessed, their ability to persevere when the game could have started to really sway in Oregon State's favor when they notched it up 10-10, but our defense continually came up with stops. And as we touch on so many times after ball games, the turnover battle. When you win it 4-1, you give yourselves a pretty good chance to win the game. Got to go play again next Friday.
So, Sark, for one night at least, would you be in favor of renaming CenturyLink Safeway Link?
I don't know. We got one more game here.
Why do you think so much better against these teams that don't hurry up and are kind of grinded out teams and games? Why are you finding so much success against them?
Well, I don't know if it's just our personnel or our scheme or our depth or whatever it is. It all adds up. I think part of it is, we have to understand what it means to carry the emotion that we play with at home and bring that on the road with us. I think that's part of the factor. We've played very good defense at home all season long. I think we've given up a total of 6 touchdowns on defense now in 5 home games. So that's a pretty good ratio. Our ability to carry that over, and then ultimately looking at whatever we're doing against the teams that might hurry us up to stay in an aggressive attack mode. Because I think we were in that mode tonight defensively, and it was obviously fun to watch. They played great.
Steve, with the way the defense is playing, it kind of felt like if you could just get one big play offensively, you could maybe do something. I think there was a pump and go to Casey in the corner. Can you talk about that play and just Keith's play overall?
Well, Keith's coming. He's coming. He's starting to come for us, and I thought what was really cool tonight with Keith is when we got Kaysen isolated one-on-one, he took his chances with him. And Kaysen has the capability of when he's one-on-one to go make those types of plays. That was obviously a big one down to the 1-yard line, then maybe even a bigger one as the 3rd down play. Later in the 4th quarter, went into double coverage and he makes a tremendous catch, and then they tacked on 15 for targeting. But I think Keith is understanding the type of player that Kaysen can be. And by doing so, that's going to help Austin, and it's going to help Jadon Mickens, who I thought had made a couple big plays for us tonight in the passing game as well. We just got to continue to find consistency and balance. We came out with a real purpose to try to run the football early in the game, a bit of an attitude that we wanted to get done, and I thought we did that relatively effectively early. They made, obviously, the necessary adjustments to take some of that stuff away. We had a couple unfortunate penalties to have a couple plays called back. But then it took the passing game there at the end to put ultimately the 10 more points on the board with the big plays to Casey.
Those passes to Casey called then, or was Keith's option?
No, they were designed. They were designed for him, yes.
Steve, the first one now, I think on Danny, on Johnny Timu's interception return. What did you see there?
I didn't see it, but I can't see everything. The headsets were that there wasn't one, but I don't know. Maybe he got the wrong number. I'm not sure what happened. I do know we had some plays after the whistle tonight. I think there was about 3 of them or so. I think they called one on Danny. I believe they called one on Talia Crichton. I believe they called one on Jared Fanal. That we have to try to clean up, and there's the fine line of playing a physical brand of football, aggressive brand of football, but doing it through the echo of the whistle and not after. And we'll learn from that. But I don't want to take our stinger either. I thought our guys played with a real sense of purpose tonight.
Can you talk about the defense? They gave up over 400 yards, but only held them to 17 points. They kind of bend but not break mentality. Is that fair to say for this
There was
defense?
a little bit of that. You know, we gave up a couple plays that were a little disappointing. The touchdown to Cooks, we had played the bubble great all night, and Sean Parker went out with an injury, and he had to get his ankle retaped, and Schamberger came in, and was just a little bit of miscommunication that you know, the backup comes in between he and True, who was playing the bubble and who was going to play the pass down the field, and sure enough, they popped us on a big one. So I'd like to think we cleaned that up. The second touchdown pass, you know, we're in good position on that one, and then the deep ball, Justin Glenn's in great position. You know, I'd like to think we'll make that play more times than not. So some of the yards came on stuff that I think we can clean up. I thought we were effective in defending the run enough. They popped a couple things. I thought our pressure on the quarterback was pretty good at times. I thought Shirley had a couple good rushes, Hudson. So all in all, you know, they had a lot of opportunities, but at the end of the day, when we had to make our plays, especially in the red zone, we made them.
Can you talk about Sean's game tonight? He had the interception in the end zone and then the big hit on Wheaton. Can you talk about Sean and his progression throughout the season and how he did tonight?
I thought this was probably Sean's, arguably his best game of the year. The numbers say that, but also, you know, Sean is a really cool kid in that he prepares so well and he wants to do so well mentally and physically. And he's had times in the season where he's almost trying too hard and gets himself out of position and maybe give up a play here or there. Tonight he played a really disciplined game, and at least from my vantage point now we got to go back and look at the film and see. But he's understanding that next play mentality that's needed, and by doing so, he put himself in good position to make plays. I mean, the interception was a heck of a play. The hit was obviously a great hit, but he had other plays in the game and that had an impact for other guys to make plays, and that was what was encouraging.
Steve, they hadn't trailed by more than 4 points at any time during the season. Did you feel, was that an emphasis to try and get up on them early and see if they could play from behind?
We just wanted to make it so that we weren't into a pass mode, because if we just get into pass mode, their D-line with Crichton and Wynn and those guys rushing the passer, it would have made the game very difficult for us. We wanted to make it a point to where they had to defend the run, and then we could utilize maybe some things in the play action pass. They did some nice things with their man coverage that negated some of the things we thought we could get down the field. But our ability to make this thing a game and not to where they could get ahead and then we were passing and dropping back and exposing Keith, and they've got a great pass rusher in Crichton. You know, he's leading the conference with 8 sacks coming in. So we didn't want the game to go that way. That's why there was such an emphasis on running the football early.
Steve, how personally did this team take what happened in Tucson a week ago, and then some of the labels that came along with that?
I think that, you know, sometimes in this sport, and in probably all sports, you know, games go certain ways, and it's not, when you get beat, it's not that we wanted to get beat, you know, it's not that, you know, we didn't want to, you know, go out and not play well at Arizona, and it's not like we got on the plane and ate ice cream and sang Christmas carols to one another, you know, I mean, we were pissed too. And so I think sometimes that gets misconstrued, that everybody else is upset and we're not. So I think the guys kind of, what I thought was cool, they kind of locked arms and they came together and understood that it was going to take everybody to make this happen, and it was going to take everybody on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, we had some real physical, tough practices where there was a lot of one-on-ones and a lot of guys with the camera spotlighted on them, and we were going to find out who was competing and who was doing things right and who wasn't, and who could fix it by the next day. And I thought that really helped, and they held each other accountable. And it wasn't just holding each other accountable on Saturday. That's the easy thing to do. They held each other accountable throughout the week, and the end result is we played pretty good tonight.
Did you say anything to Coombs prior to the final field goal? Were you curious about how he would finally deal with pressure, kind of his first pressure kick this year?
I didn't say anything to him. You know, I didn't even think he'd miss it. You know, I mean, he was right down the middle. You know, and he's been kicking the ball great for us. I really wasn't concerned about it.
Coming off,
Defense held them to 110 yards in the first half, and then Oregon State dominated. What happened?
They came out and they gave us a couple formational things, like I said, that we had to adjust to, and then we had the lapse on the Cooks touchdown there that really should have never happened. I mean, they're going to complete the ball, but it should have been about a gain of 2 or 3 like it was all night long. We just didn't play it very well. And then they got some momentum. They kick off, and we get the late hit after the kickoff. We're held back in our own end. We punt. They get good field position. And I think they get a field goal on that next series. So they got some momentum going in their favor, and I thought our guys really responded and held in, and we got the lead, and then they hit some passes, and I think it probably helped. They changed quarterbacks, and Voss gave them a little shot in the arm there at the end.
Steve, the first drive, it looked like you were going to maybe go for it on 4th down or draw them off, and you called the timeout. What was?
We were just trying to draw them off. Believe me, I wanted to go for it, but again, the whole mentality is make sure we were going to make them play 4 quarters of football, and the last thing I wanted to do was to give them the ball. I think we're on about our own 38-yard line or something right there. The play that we probably would have called was the play we ran for the touchdown on the 4th down to Bishop there when we got in the end zone. So, hindsight's 20/20. I'd like to think we could have converted, but the risk-reward factor wasn't enough for me.
The last offensive possession, we got the field goal. Did you want to maybe burn more clock there, or was that?
We worked the clock pretty good. They had 3 timeouts, so we knew, it was 3rd and I think about 4 or 5, after they jumped off sides, and I contemplated running the football. I didn't have a great run in mind, quite honestly, and I felt like, okay, we're going to run it. They're going to use their last timeout. So either way, the same amount of times on the clock, and maybe they're out of 1 timeout. If they would have needed a touchdown, I probably would have ran it. But with them only needing a field goal and a minute left on the clock and 2 timeouts, that was plenty of time for them. So we went to convert the 1st down to really then try to end the game right there. And they, I don't know how well they defended the play, and if we just don't make the play, got to look at the film, but we didn't convert that 3rd down.
Coming off a 3 straight.
Offensive line held up pretty well. They only had a couple sacks, and
I thought they did a nice job. I mean, Micah and Ben Riva going against Crichton, that's a heck of a challenge. Those guys are he's a good player. So, and we obviously challenged them all week long as well, and they responded.
Coming off a 3 straight conference losses, how badly did you guys need this win to finally get back on track in the conference?
Well, we needed it just for our own well-being. It wasn't so much about the record at the end. It was for what's inside of us. And, there's pride is a powerful thing, and you earn pride. It's not given, and we earned it tonight.
You guys, they had the best rushing defense, and you took a calculated risk. Why did you think that risk of running the ball early was going to pay off?
Well, we thought we had a good plan, and we knew where they were going to be, and we knew essentially what their defenses would be, and we had to do it. I had to do it, just from what was needed in our locker room and in our team room. We had to come out and instill our will. We had to run the football.
Did this feel like going behind the Safeway, this game?
There was a lot of punches being thrown, literally. But I'm happy for our players. They work really hard and they want to do well, and I'm proud of their ability to respond when challenged, and they've done it every time. They keep doing it for me, and the challenge now is we've got a short week and we're going on the road, and we got to understand a little shift in the schedule here and try to put 2 in a row together.
So just based on some of the emotional reactions that you had, just some of the plays, both good and bad, it looked like you may have been even more emotionally invested maybe in this game than it just looked like you really wanted this badly.
I just wanted to be me, I'm a relatively emotional guy, I think. I mean, you guys see me at practice every day, but I locked arm with the guys too. I was right there with them. I wasn't. We were behind Safeway, but I wasn't in the crowd watching. I wanted to be in the fight with them.
Steve, did Travis Feeney play on the defensive side of the ball?
No, he had a little kind of illness all week this week and didn't get a whole lot of practice time, and we just didn't think it would be fair to him putting him out there. So he covered on kicks for us, but he just didn't practice enough for us, Wednesday, Thursday, and then into Friday.
Initial impressions on Chris?
Change when Marcus Wheaton went out?
I'm sorry.
How much did that change what you were doing defensively when Marcus Wheaton went out?
Well, you'd think you'd make it better, I mean, what we did was ended up following Cooks around the field for the most part. But we were probably playing better defense when he was on the field than we did after the fact, you know, so I don't know what changed, you know, outside of they got going in the second half, you know, and, but it allowed Desmond to follow Cooks around, and Cooks made some great plays for him still.
Let's wrap it up, guys.
Initial impressions on Chris to move inside?
I think good, you know, I think so, I'm not sure, again, I have to look at the film on some of that stuff, that technically what happens inside. But the end result, I thought our offensive front battled and competed against a very good defensive front.